direction of this record, one of the things that I noticed on it was, overkill is overkill at the end of the day. But I think the small nuances, the small changes, what becomes motivating to continue doing this. Because you notice the changes when you're involved in it, when you're deep into it. Like when you're the writer or one of the writers. You notice what the other guys are doing. I notice what Dave's doing with his leads. He's noticing what I'm doing with my vocal lines. We're trying to match some stuff up. We're trying to, let's say, marry the two. So I think the motivation musically comes from each other. But I noticed about this record early on that I thought that this record had more of a classic heavy metal vibe than it did, let's say, specifically a thrash record. I think the record prior, White Devil Armory, was much more of a thrash record than The Grinding Wheel, which comes across as some classic type metal riffs that are updated, given contemporary value with all those little changes that I talked about. You know, whether it be the lead, whether it be the vocal line, whether it be the meat of the riff, whether it be the beat. But I think that the inspiration was more classic heavy metal than thrash.
I think it's all part of the succession since Ironbound. Really another record that kind of defines the band. It's got a little bit of everything on there, some thrashy stuff, some groovy stuff.
You know, we've been a band for a long time now, so we don't spend a lot of time trying to figure out who we are, or we really don't even give much thought to what's the direction. Are we, let's make this record thrashier, let's make it more metal, let's slow it down, it kind of doesn't work that way. I never stop writing, so I'm accumulating riffs and material in between records for 2 years, and then when it's time to pull a record together, I'll usually start with taking all my tapes, taking everything together, and I kind of pick the best of the bunch and see where I'm at. That's why I don't like to write until it's time to write, because I think you pick up influences and new records and kind of things all through a 2-year period, and so you get little bits of pieces, and then when you put it together, it's kind of in that spot. And I prefer to do it that way, but that's generally what we do. It's not a conscious effort to be one way or another, and the record kind of gets, that's at least how it starts musically, to start to pull it together.
I mean, really, the musical direction doesn't change much. We do what we do. We know what that is, and I would think for this one, there's a little bit of everything again. You know, there is some thrasher stuff, there's some punkier stuff, there's contemporary overkill as well. It's kind of the same thing. I mean, like I said, we know what we do, and it's nothing. There's nothing different from what that is.
I'll be the black hand that's not touching us.